In today's episode of the Biz Talk, we're going to talk about avoiding these types of people in your business. It's going to be a good one. Talk about it right now on the Biz Talk.
You know who I'm avoiding?
I'm dying to know, Tracy. Who are you avoiding?
The Gregs.
Jorge's, possibly?
Every other day.
Every other day. Okay, so not as bad, Jorge. If you're watching, you're wondering, you're editing, we're not going to avoid you as much.
Just every other day.
Every other day. But the Gregs, every day.
Yep.
By the way, somebody in the comments or in our chat today on our stream was like, "Leave Greg alone." They were like totally protecting him. I know she was mad.
Here's the thing. You guys have no idea. We don't just attack to attack.
He gives it to us.
It's not in our nature.
Greg is no innocent bystander, ladies and gentlemen.
You have no idea.
Zero idea. Okay. Now that we've cleared the air on who to avoid in our business, let's talk about who you should be avoiding.
Red flags.
Yes, red flags, Trace. This is kind of a different topic that we're addressing. I think it's very, very important. And I was talking about this before we started to record. That was the difference in our business early on.
Oh, yeah.
Was bad partners, bad suppliers.
Dude, you guys didn't have red flags. You had black flags.
Oh my God.
The flags were all over the field.
Like you know how you go to the beach and they have certain areas that are like blackballed.
Yeah.
You know, and they have like the flags like don't surf here, don't go out in the water. That was literally, we had those. It was gnarly.
Your flag has the death
pirate
symbol. Yeah, like
the skull.
The skull.
Do not.
You're like, let's go in here.
Yes. And so I want to just cover a few things like potential partnerships if you're considering, okay? And then even like, you know, really like vendors, and maybe Tracy can speak to this one. You know, who you're bringing in. If you have a salon, who you're bringing in, or if you're a nail tech in the same salon as somebody, like kind of who you want to avoid, right? There's some personalities or some red flags
Yep.
that you may want to avoid. I think it's important.
I think it's important. And of course, this is not across the board. You know, we're not saying it's across the board. There's special situations, but these are pretty 99% of the time.
Yes. So I'll start off like, you know, when our business was first, when it was born, we were partnered with a person and who was like the most salesy, over salesy to the 10th degree that you could ever, making promises. Your hopes and dreams are going to come true. This is going to happen in this amount of time. You're going to be buying your brand new blah, blah, blah. Like, red flag, right?
Red flag.
If you're going to...
Promises you the world
in a time that is unrealistic, right? And I guess that goes for anything that you see, right? We all want to believe. Sometimes we get desperate in our journey of building your business, your nail business, right? Right now, you might be like, I need something. And you go on the internet, you see an ad for, I'm going to double and triple your business in 30 days, or, you know, follow this marketing technique and get this much in results.
Triple your business in a month.
Triple your business in a month. Anything like that, you need to stay away from those businesses / partners. Anyone making promises that your business is going to go to the moon.
Anyone that guarantees it.
It's not good.
Because there is no guarantees.
There is no guarantee. It is impossible.
There's no guarantees in life, or in business especially.
That saying, it's the most simple saying, but it's so true. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Probably is.
And we fell into that. I mean, there were so many times that we partnered with somebody. We had people invest in the business. They were like, I'm going to help you take your business to blah, blah, blah. And all of it just constantly went down the drain. There were business dealings that we did early on. You know, if you like side businesses that we tried, you know, give us this much money and we're going to give you a return that's like 5x, 6x.
That's sketch.
Very sketch. Like totally sketch.
Psst, come to my trunk.
Hey,
check these out.
Come to my trunk.
Just got his jacket. Check this out.
will make you billions.
Gonna be rich, just like me, as they're
out of their trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just in general, like really, just, you got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? Don't be paranoid of like, I'm not going to deal with anybody, but just, be careful.
Partnerships in general. Like there's some great partner. You have a great partnership. There were some trials there though, right?
Oh my God.
Especially working with family, right?
100%. But you have a partnership. Yes.
And I have seen partnerships are hard. I almost feel like they're harder than a marriage.
I agree with you.
Because you are financially tied to this person.
Yep.
And in a partnership, there's expectations of like, you're doing, you're going to do X, I'm going to do X, we're going to do 50-50. And typically it's just, again,
it's never like that.
It sounds better than it really is. So for me, be wary of partnerships. Sometimes we have to partner.
100%.
But all that bliss and glam, the honeymoon that you're thinking in your head, it's the same thing as marriage, if not worse. And now you're tied to this person financially. Yes. And it's very hard to get out of once you are. And a lot of times, because I know Habib and we're besties, let's do this business. Shay, we don't need contracts.
Yes.
We don't
need contracts.
That's a red flag right there. Right there.
Yes.
Of course you need contracts.
Yes.
Friends, family, anyone, especially friends, family.
Especially.
That's like showing love towards your friend and family of, hey, I want to do this to protect you.
Yes.
To protect me. Like, it just makes sense. It
makes sense. You need to do that. You've got to protect yourself. Again, you don't want to be like overly paranoid and then not take any risks in your business. But these are things where they're just solid, like these are red flags, warning signs. And if you come to somebody, you're like, hey, let's do this partnership. I've got a contract, and they're like, I don't do contracts. That it's like, why? What are you afraid of?
Don't you trust me?
Yeah. Don't you trust me? Yeah, I trust you.
You said that. Now I don't.
Yes,
yeah. No,
yes.
Contracts are protection for both.
Yeah. And you just never know. Like the thing is like, yes, I trust you now. And yes, we're good now. But what usually happens, and this is very typical, is like, you start in business with somebody and then somebody's life changes 6 months, a year, 12 months, 18 months down the road. They change and all of a sudden it's like, well, I want to do this now. And it's like, we have to hold up to our original agreement, which is set in stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or not only their life change, their partner has decided.
Correct.
That's the best,
Correct.
Oh, well, my husband thinks that, he's going to sit in on our meetings. What? Excuse me? Like,
not part of this business.
My husband isn't coming. Like,
Exactly. Another type of person to avoid. Let's move into the salon now, Trace. Let's say you're considering opening a salon, for those of you that are, and even if you're not today, this is important because I think this applies across the board in business. But let's talk about like toxicity, right? What are some signs of a toxic sort of personality in the salon, in the workplace, and what that can do to your business?
It's horrible. It really is. I've worked with many different personalities. One of the worst that I worked with, and don't get me wrong, I actually liked her. I considered her a friend, but working with her was hard because you never knew what you were going to get
that day.
And it was walking in like on eggshells, like.
Well, and this was your salon?
No.
Okay.
No. But what am I going to get? What am I going to get when I walk in this door? Good mood. Yes. Which was good mood. It's amazing to work with, like all kinds of energy. And then the bad mood. And it's just like, and it festers in the whole salon. Everybody feels it. You and I, especially, we can sense like
completely
sense people being upset or whatever. And clients would complain because they didn't like it. So that kind of personality, you have to make decisions, right? I worked with this kind of personality, then them asking like maybe about coming into my salon. I had to make a decision. I like this person.
Yeah.
But I can't have that in my salon because I'm not going to work with that anymore. And I'm going to lose people because they're not going to like and booth renters.
And booth renters as well.
Because they don't want to be around it.
That's right.
So there was that.
But even Trace, if you're, I think that's a great, what you were saying, a great point of, even if you're a tech and you're working in a salon and there is somebody that is like so toxic, you may really want to consider, I got to get out of here. Like I have to leave. The owner is not getting rid of this person. I have to go.
I am at work more than I am at home.
Correct.
If I'm not happy at work, that's an everyday life. That's every day miserable. Going to work and dreading it. And I just don't want to do that. We all have the moments, but like when you're just, and one person's causing that and it's not going to get better, I'm going to look for somewhere else to go. That's right. And especially when in the salon life, it's easy to move. Now, a red flag for me is, okay, you keep on saying that about every salon you've been to.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I'm your 25th salon.
It's not good.
Now, I encourage moving salons because I will hear texts go, well, I don't want to move salon because that makes me look bad. I don't care if you've been through a couple salons because you should find the salon that's for you.
Right.
But if you've been through every salon in town, that's a red flag.
That's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem for sure.
That might be a time to look in the mirror kind of situation.
100%. And
I have ignored red flags also. Someone that I did work with in a different salon wanted to come into my salon. I unwisely chose to fill the spot instead of waiting to look for the right person. It didn't end well. Like I knew that. I knew it wasn't going to. I knew the personality probably hadn't changed and it was just going to go back to what it was. And, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt and they,
another chance.
Yeah. But, typically it doesn't usually change.
It doesn't usually change. Majority of the time it doesn't usually change. And, I want to just maybe push a little bit on this, Tracy. Let's take this down even because I think this is very important for, potential nail techs. All the way down to the customer, right? So let's say you have you're in a great salon or you own a great salon and all the techs are great, but then now here comes, you have a customer that is toxic. What can that do to your business? The workplace, the vibe. I mean, it's not good.
You will have some, I've had clients act a fool in the salon, make people uncomfortable with their subjects of what they talk about. And do you really want to have to deal with that with the whole salon every time that person comes? Or, they're just toxic in the way they talk to me and, and make me feel, little and not good and, always have complaints and always have a problem, but they keep coming back to me. Like, no, those are, if, a customer comes into me or he calls me and says, hey, I just can't find the right nail girl. I have been to 15 different salons. I'm just tired. I want someone to do what I want. That is, red flag.
Red flag.
I probably... And maybe I'm not saying someone's probably sitting there going, well, I want what I want. Yes, I totally get that. But there's tones, right? Like, if someone just keeps on salon hopping, by then they've had to have had someone that did a good job,
right?
So that would be a red flag to me. Maybe not a valid red flag, but it's going to red flag.
Yeah.
And, I'm going to have to sit there and go, do I want to even try this client? Do I need it? Do I even want to bother? Because as you build your clientele, you start to weed the toxic people out. The people that make you look at your book, you see their name. Oh my God. It's 8:00 in the morning. I see that Habib's coming in at 3 and it has just literally ruined my day. I've had clients like that.
That's
it's just
awful.
Like dread. You just know what's coming your way. And it's just like, it's not worth it.
Yeah. If you... Obviously, in the building phase, while you're building a clientele,
you take a lot.
You're going to have to take a lot. You have to deal with things. But once you fill your books up, and now you have like, hey, people that want to get in on your books, and they seem like they're going to be great customers, great personalities, non-toxic. So you got to switch them out, man.
And the same goes. I know there's ones getting ready to type again that are like, I want what I want, and this can go both. Yes, it can go both ways.
100%.
If you go to a nail tech and you don't enjoy your experience every time, they're negative every time, they're late every time, they talk about inappropriate things every time and you're just not comfortable, why don't no. I don't even care if they do the most amazing nails I've seen. I'm not going to go back because
that's right.
I'm paying money. I want to enjoy my experience. I want, so it absolutely goes both ways.
And like the point of this is you're not going to be able to completely avoid, like sort of these bad, folks or toxic personalities.
Everybody has bad behavior sometimes.
100%. And in your journey, you're going to come across them. What we're trying to say is like, from our experience, from our knowledge, when you see it, try to recognize it. Or initially, if you're like, well, I don't know. Okay, you wait. And then after a couple months, if you're like, yo, this is, either a partner or a tech that's in your salon or somebody, or you're working in the salon and there's another tech or a customer, whatever that is, at that moment in time, it's like, if you're like, okay, this has been a while and it's not going to change and I am miserable, you're going to burn yourself out if you don't, like, you got to make a change. You got to make a change.
I've seen that so many times, whether that's partnerships or clientele or whatever, that they don't like, they've built a clientele that they're not enjoying. And they're like, they don't want the awkward conversation with the partner or whoever it is. And then they end up quitting doing what they like because is that what you want? That's not what we want. So sometimes we have to make those calls. We have to end a relationship and move on to do what we love doing. I would rather do that than lose everything.
That's right. I can't even count the number of times, Tracey. I mean, I specifically remember, we brought on a potential partner early on, and it was basically this thing set up to be, okay, if you bring in this much business, you will become an actual partner of the company. And this personality, it just wasn't meshing with mine. Different work ethic than mine. And there were just it was one of those situations where it was like so many things were told and I'll do this. None of it was happening. So I had a choice. After 6 months, I was like, because I gave it time. I'm like, let me just give it a little bit longer, and see. And after 6 months, I was like, I was honest with myself. Is this going to change? No, it's not, Habib. You have to make the change. And I had a conversation face to face and I said, sorry, you can't work here anymore. It's not, it was like, what? And it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm sure that was not fun.
Not fun at all. Very difficult. Best thing we ever did.
Yeah.
Best thing we ever did. So.
And that conversation lasted what?
It lasted
20 minutes, maybe
20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
And you did not have to do it again
Nope.
and again and again
Every
and again.
day.
And that's what you have to look at.
Correct.
20-minute awkward conversation versus spending the rest of my life being miserable.
Exactly. So please take that from this episode. I think it's important. Obviously, we want to help you guys in any way possible. And we want you to have a nice, joyful, successful career. So with that, Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next time on Biz Talk.
Subscribe channel now. Subscribe channel now.